seconds.
All right. And we're live. I think we're live.
Yes.
Okay, we are live. Thank you all for coming. How do you like the show? Yeah, good show. All right. Well, I'm here with Dinolift, and we have owned a Dinolift for over 4 years, and we've really appreciated a lot of things. Equipment is equipment. We all have our toys, our big boy toys, big girl toys, and but who are the people you're working with? That's an important aspect of the whole transaction. And from the beginning, Dinolift as a manufacturer has really demonstrated a customer-centric mindset. And that's come through in a number of ways. They're very interested in, the feedback from the clients and being helpful in any way they can. They have now, to kind of exemplify that, they've established a U.S.-based portion of their company. And so as it moves forward, the U.S. market, of course, is very important to them. And just within that mindset of customer central thinking, they want to be able to serve us as clients as best they can. And so it's really great to work with a manufacturer that cares about you. It's meaningful. Your business is meaningful to them. And then the stateside RBG has been a great service provider. And I know Paul in particular there in the service department, many times, I'm on the phone. How many of you have owned some type of lift? Yeah. Okay. They all have their ghosts, right? And when they're new to you, things that aren't even ghosts are ghosts because you just don't know, right? And when something's wrong, you're like, okay, I know it's something simple. Like I didn't put the car in park, or I didn't put my foot on the brake before I tried to turn the key. There's something like that. But Paul was always there, a phone call to the service department, and we get something fixed in the field, and that was, I just heard a story of Paul, like going to a site and getting the thing going, because that's the kind of customer service they'll provide. So RBG has been just above board, and that's very important to have a solid company. And then just recently, coming up to this show, we've had this planning for a long time. I went to my local, credit union, trusted relationship. Hey, we got this thing going on. Okay, yeah, fine. And this was mid-August. Okay, Friday, like last Friday, I'm in there. I'm like, what's the deal? Why we heard from you? And he's like, oh yeah, this, that, the other. It's gonna be 3 weeks. I'm like, no, the machine's coming home on Sunday. You just dropped the ball. What's a good way to lose a client? Embarrass them. So I'm calling up RBG like a high schooler giving an excuse. I'm like, I'm kind of in a situation here. And they're like, oh, well, we've got our recommended financiers on the site, just start calling them. So we look up their website. They got 4 of them. So what do? We go to AI. Hey, give us a lowdown on these 4 guys, right? Well, Elm Blue, it said has high customer reviews. I said, let's go with the one that says high customer reviews. So this is midday Friday. Okay, and by Monday night, we got a signed, sealed, and delivered preferred rate. They came through for us. They overnighted me this shirt. They said, would you wear this thing? I said, I'll tell a story about you, So Elm Blue Equipment Financing, they were just awesome to work with. They listened to my story. They came through for me and delivered. So they have a hats off coming too. So the people you're working with are really meaningful when you got a big piece of equipment like this. Now, in that same vein, this new machine, you see that track unit decal there? Down on the main frame, says works with track unit. That tracks this machine. So Temu just dialed it up on his phone, and he found that machine over there and this machine here, right here in St. Louis. And he can pick it up and it tells you the hours, everything, the codes that it might be spitting out at you. So they can find it in the service department and fix your machine in the field, or at least tell you which button you have to push. And so that's huge. And that's an upgrade from our 72. So the features on this, I've been really happy. I had a track lift back before they were really built for tree guys. Okay. We all know, you know, somebody made a joke. I didn't take it personally. They made mention of how hard we treat equipment. Right? If anybody can break something, a tree guy is going to do it, right? But these are really built tough. It's a little, you know, what, this is about 10,500 pounds. So you got to have a decent trailer to put it on. But those pounds are very important to me, because it just tells me this is going to be durable. This unit they've extended the outriggers. You got a better leveling on steeper terrain. We have built some blocking material, you know, screwed it all together so that when we get just that little extra hill, we can make it work. And we've had a lot of tricky situations to maneuver this into, and it drives like an ATV right out there. And so the handling of the wheel machine versus like a track machine, you know, a lot of guys, well, you can't get that in the backyard. Well, one section of fence and you get this in the backyard. I mean, we all worked in the old school. I may not look like 60 all the time, but you know, I've been around a little while, and we had to innovate back in the day, right? You can get things in the backyard. And so in our area, we get this the most places. This is a 92. We can be at the front side of a garage. You got 52 feet of side reach. You can do that tree right behind the garage. So there's that aspect. What's another great feature? You can run multiple controls at once on this. So, you know, with an elbow and a wrist and a hand, you know, you can move this thing multiple different directions. The 92 in particular, the upper boom on the 72, the upper boom was the slowest elongator, right? And so whenever I was in a situation that I had to readjust, I would try not to do the upper boom. But now this is a triple extension upper boom, and it really moves fast and retracts fast. And so that's a great feature. We've got here just a little personal note. We take this tray out. We put a couple of PVC pipes, 3-inch PVC pipes in the corner. Got your extra, because it's always just a little farther, isn't it? So we got our pole saw options in there. And then we'll put 2 of these. This guy, Safe Tree Products, he's out there on the floor, 1536. He let me use this today. We put 2 of these in the lift. They fit nicely in here. And we have the double basket, mainly so we can have our saws on the inside. Anybody ever wreck a saw on the outside? That tree just gets closer faster than you think, right? So having your saws on the inside and still having enough room to move around, that's an important feature to us. So we got the double basket. What else here? What am I missing? The ground speed. Oh, heavens. You know, I had a track lift, you know, 1 mile an hour. This is like at least 1.5 miles on slow, and you're 6 miles an hour. You better be ready to drive at 6 miles an hour. I'm just telling you. And don't take the corner, and don't go in all-wheel steer at 6 miles an hour. You just don't want to leverage yourself around a corner. It's moving. So if you're doing a large, you know, apartment complex or something, we got a few gigs like that. and you can just drive this baby down the road, you know, and it's handles very nice, all-wheel steer, crab steer, so you can climb into places and really wiggle it in where you might not think you could. But any other questions? All right. Okay, we're in Wisconsin, and we work all winter long. We've never moved snow except if it served our own purposes. Okay, that's our philosophy. So, you know, we've done work in when it's snowing, you know, and the day after a big storm, we go out and do trees, you know, some big removal or something. And so we built a trailer, Minnesota Trailers out of Minnesota. We built a covered trailer. It's a 20,000-pound trailer, hydraulic tilt, drives right in there. 83 inches on the axles, 81 inches on the wheels. It drives right in. R72 that they're going to be reconditioning and selling, it's in really great shape because it was never exposed to road salt or anything else. And so I would say that is an investment worth making if you live in an environment like mine. Just drop the money and get the trailer because the sensors can be affected by snow and ice and salt especially. And so that has kept us very functional all through the years, all through winter. And in the cold, this Kubota, it starts right up. It gets going. It's got glow plugs on it. You know, it's made, you know, Finland. They know it's cold. And the glow plugs are there. Usually you cycle them a couple of times. It starts right up. The covered trailer is nice. You got a couple of degrees variance inside the trailer. And it's got outfitted with outlets so you can plug in the trailer. And then we put a little heater in there. And so we elevate the degrees a little bit. You could insulate the ceiling of your lift if you want to do whatever you want to do to get creative. But we've never had a problem in winter. We won't leave it on site in the wintertime just because you're asking for leaving it out in 10 below weather or something. So we put it in the trailer always. But that's how we solve the winter problem. Anything else? Well, I guess you all are here for a drawing. All right, we've got one of these to give away too. We brought one of the little hatchets, so that's going to be in there. So what do you want to see first? One of the saws or the hatchet or the hatchet? Okay. You know, I know somebody here bought an axe over there, so they've got quite a few tickets in here. Yeah, there he is. Jeff Schroeder. He does a mean axe too, by the way. I think I bought 13 from you. Yeah, every one of my guys has an axe from Jeff. All right, I've got one single ticket in my hand. I've got 553-65195. 195. Not present. Okay, we're going for a second one. We got 553-65431. 431. Okay. Must be present to win. Last 3072. Look at you. There you go. It's very sharp. Yeah. All right. we'll go for which one. What do you want first? The double one or the double battery? The big boy. You know, these battery saws are great in the lift. You know, the easy on, easy off. You're not sitting there starting it on the outside. Very, very good. So we got the last three. 141. 65141. Oh, suspense. Last three. 224. Three, 6, 0. 360. He has been rewarded for the many tickets that he purchased. 360. There you go. Now he wishes he would have bought an axe. All right, this is for the top handle. 009. Two, 5. The suspense continues. 212. Wow. Those are grouped. They would have won two things. 154. Hey, we got a winner. All right, Jesse. Thank you. All right. Dino, is there anything I missed? Something you want? Yeah, the stateside Dinolift Inc. Also, the QR code on that, it's on that box there. Yeah, this QR code gets you a special offer from the show. You know, if you're interested in the lift, might just scan that. I'll leave that right here on the table. Want to thank you guys. Thanks for your support of Game of Trees. And we're going to keep producing content for you guys. And the gameoftrees.com supports my Guatemala project. I fly out on Sunday to Guatemala. I'm teaching a short course, rigging course for the Guatemala City, the city of Antigua, and their National Parks Department. So we'll be doing a day course in the city at a training facility. And then we go out to a forest preserve by Antigua, up by the coffee country. And then we give practical there. So I'll be doing some practical rigging on site there. So a lot of good stuff that we do. I also teach biology students down there how to ascend into the rainforest canopy. So a lot of good stuff that happens there, and gameoftrees.com helps support that. So appreciate your support. Thanks for coming out. Yeah. Yeah, you bet.
224 and 225, and I was 226. I was